Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 8th. We're just going to jump right in here, Libra. In your current general energies, you have this Heart of the Sky card. It kind of represents as above, so below energy. And what do you know? You have as above, so below energy right here. You can see that this guy is standing on a bench and he is like finishing his work up here. So it's kind of like as above, so below. He needs to ground something in reality. The Three of Pentacles to me also sometimes represents like the icing on the cake. He has these three pentacles up here which form a fire triangle, but then he has a water triangle right here. And you know, that water triangle on the Three of Pentacles kind of says that there might be just like a little bit something extra that you could do, like if you're working on a project, a business, or even in relationships as well. It's like, you know, can you go above and beyond? And I kind of get that feeling here where going above and beyond would be extremely beneficial for you at this time. I don't think that's always true, right? But I feel if you're like working on an important project for business or for your career, it might be a good time for you to like, you know, kind of go the extra mile, because it looks to me like that's just really what I'm getting on the Three of Pentacles, is that there's going to be some sort of benefit or like additional benefit, which we actually see right here, because you go to the World, which would be an accomplishment. So it looks to me like if you're doing anything extra in work or business, that you're going to be very successful with that Three of Pentacles. You also have the Judgment card here, and I feel like you're being called to, you know, do something greater. You know, these people, they're standing in these coffins, and the coffins in the tarot kind of represent your past life. Outside the coffin represents your new life, and this is your higher self angel right here. So it's like you're being called to your new life. And if we look at this, you know, you have the Three of Wands, which is basically like, what are you waiting for? You have the Ten of Swords, which says something is dead, done, over with. Probably, you know, something that you went through, probably a dark night of the soul or something like that. And then you have the Moon, which is like stepping into the unknown. So I feel for a lot of you that there is, you know, I don't know that this is a new beginning. I feel it's more of an expansion is what I would say. And what I mean by that is it's like if you have a career or business, maybe you're not necessarily leaving the job or the career. It's more like expanding, like you're getting a raise, a promotion. Or the other thing is that you could just be becoming more efficient in your career. And this would lead to more fulfillment, which we see with the Ace of Cups. I think sometimes, you know, people see the Ace of Cups and they just think love, right? And there's definitely love here if you want it. We'll talk about that in a minute. You have the Four of Wands, Knight of Cups as well. But also, you know, this is a card of doing something that causes your emotions to overflow, or something that leads to more fulfillment. You know, this cup, it fills itself. It can easily reach down into that water and fill itself back up. So, you know, I feel for a lot of you, like those of you that are focused on work, career, business, it looks to me like either you're becoming more efficient, like being able to do your job easier or better, obviously could lead to more fulfillment, or you could be like getting a raise or a promotion that leads to fulfillment. And that's kind of like what I'm getting here. I do also get this energy of needing to not take things too seriously. You know, I've been noticing a lot of polka dots recently in the tarot, and Three of Pentacles, for example, Seven of Swords. Also, he has polka dots on his cloak. And polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun. They kind of can represent, I don't think it's always true, but just intuitively I feel it's true in your reading, that it can represent a time where maybe you're taking things too seriously and you need to like invite some more, you know, fun, enjoyment, doing things that you enjoy doing just so you can get out of your head. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands here. Knight of Wands, definitely an adventure, because we go Three of Wands to the World. There's like some sort of new adventure for you. I think this is true for basically everyone. You know, I would say with Pluto and Aquarius that we could basically say this is the adventure of the heart that we all could be taking. You know, there's something that you see as fulfilling right here, and you need to expand with the universe to go experience it. Could be anything. Maybe you have a desire to move to Fiji, and maybe that's what your heart is telling you to do. This reading is basically say, do it, because it's going to lead to an achievement and also a victory and probably fulfillment. With the Judgment card, you have the Magician. Magician says you are going to have to use all your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities to make this happen, whatever it is that you're hoping to make happen here. Very clear reading, if you can't tell, Libra. I feel like it's very clear. And I keep telling everyone, it's like nothing is going to be easy right now. I always use the saying, you know, you have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold, which, you know, I think that what people need to realize is there's like a lot of gold available right now, but you're going to have to put the work in, obviously. And the other thing is you're going to have to use other talents, gifts, skills, or abilities. Gone are the days where you can just like work straight towards something. Meaning if you want to move to Fiji, maybe you don't have the money to move to Fiji. And so people might say, Chris, it's impossible to move to Fiji without money. How am I going to do that? I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like maybe you could get a job in Fiji. Maybe they pay for you to move, right? That's just one off the top of my head, right? One example. And people always tell me, oh, that doesn't happen. It's like, okay, well, I have like a million people that can prove you wrong. I know so many people that have done things like that where like a company has paid for them to move, pretty much anything like that. I had a guy years ago where I literally told him that, he was going on vacation, and I said, I kind of got this feeling of him getting a job. And he was like, no, I'm not going to move, like all this other stuff. He goes on vacation. He writes me later that he went on vacation. He loved it so much that he got a job when he went there. It happened to my brother as well when I moved to Seattle. It's like we came out here, we loved it. He applied for a job. He got a job that day, literally that day. So it was kind of like the universe was saying, yes, open the doors. Now it's time for you to make this move. So I kind of feel that here, where it's like you're gonna have to put on your thinking cap with whatever it is you're trying to do here. It could be, and it could seem a little bit impossible. But again, people have asked me, why do you keep talking about how it seems impossible? I'm like, well, Pluto in Aquarius. With Pluto in Aquarius, we have to be an inspiration to other people. A great way to be an inspiration to other people is to do something that seems impossible, so other people can say they did it, so I can do it. And that's like the only thing we need to spiritually focus on right now. With the Ace of Cups, here you go. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Your fortunes are clearly changing. I feel like you are just very fortunate at this time. I get a very fortunate energy off of this Wheel of Fortune. That's pretty much all I'm getting there. Next, in the area of what you need to know right now, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I think the quicker people can, accept new opportunities that exist right now, the better. It's like everybody is stuck in the old world, but it's like, how can you take advantage of this new world that's being created with Pluto and Aquarius? Pluto is going to retrograde back into Capricorn soon, but it is going to, but what I would say is that, maybe that gives us a little bit of a break from this like futuristic type of energy, but next year it's going to officially move into Aquarius. And, I really feel this is kind of like saying, can you learn about new things, new technologies, new whatever? And you don't even have to believe in these things. I keep telling people, there's like a million things that you could learn about right now. AI, any new technology that comes out, you could learn about it. Bitcoin, you can just learn about it. And I'm not saying you have to support these things, right? But educating yourself is going to put you in a very good position. So, I feel that for you. You have the Four of Wands, the Three of Wands, the King of Wands. Definitely could be a fire sign coming in for you if you are looking for love. I feel like this is a new person coming in for you, and for some of you, I don't even think that you're looking for love. It's kind of interesting that you go King of Wands to the Ten of Swords to the Knight of Cups. To me, this is kind of, it's one of those things where sometimes I read tarot and I don't think it's trying to be literal. It's like, literally, we would take that Ten of Swords to mean that there was some sort of backstabbing moment, or, someone left you out in the cold or did you dirty or whatever, right? But for whatever reason, I'm not saying that didn't happen, but what I feel it's more saying that maybe some of you are not necessarily kind of expecting love at this time, but it's going to probably come in if you want love. The King of Wands, I also feel, is kind of like an energy that you should be embracing at this time. King of Wands is like bold, assertive. He really, really goes for the things that he wants to create in life. So, he really like puts in the work, and I would definitely do that. You have the Three of Wands. Again, I was getting something about you kind of expanding. For some of you, I literally feel this could be like a raise or promotion, because I was getting something about like expanding in your career or something like that. Those were the words that I was getting on the Three of Wands. So it looks to me like there could be a very good opportunity. I also have something about something you've been waiting for coming in, but it's kind of like a lame message, because I think that it's just like, maybe you sent away for something in the mail and you're getting something in the mail. I don't know, it's popping into my head. Or maybe you've been waiting for like news or approval. I said this to you recently as well, I think. I get the same message. Like if you're waiting for approval or news or something like that, it's like there's some sort of good news coming in for you. It's good news. It's popping into my head as good news, so I don't really see it as a problem. Also, if you are thinking about moving, by the way, I do feel that there could be a lot of success in like a move for you with the World card, or there could be, you could be getting an opportunity to move. Remember when I said, don't be surprised. For some of you, it's like, don't be surprised if you are saying, I'm not going to move, and then you do, because, I don't know, it's kind of popping into my head. And obviously that's not going to be true for all of you. You have the Four of Wands. Could be marriage opportunity coming in for you. But really, I feel like some of you could be leaving a commitment here due to breadcrumbing. So some of you could be walking away from a person who breadcrumbed you, someone who is in and out. I really feel you're probably going to be focusing more on new love in the future. For others, the Four of Wands is a card of freedom. Pretty much everyone gets the Four of Wands. And the reason for that, I personally believe, is because of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus has a major focus on freedom and being set free. But, I always like to remind people that for some people, prison is freedom. So, it means something different for every single person. But, one of the things that we can do to work with the astrology is to create more freedom in our life. And, there's a million ways to do this. You can change your daily routine. You can just figure out how to schedule your day so that you can do more of the things that make you feel free. Pretty much any of that stuff would be a good idea. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Definitely a big opportunity coming in for you. I would, here's the thing. For some of you, like in work or business, I am getting that, there could be an opening. Maybe you feel like you're not qualified for it, but I would go for it, is what I would say. I kind of feel like this reading is encouraging you to go get approval. Like, remember, I used the word approval on that Three of Wands, and it's almost like I'm getting this message that some of you, maybe your boss like posts, a new opportunity, like a leadership opportunity or something like that. I would go for it, is what I would say here, because it looks to me like this is something that you have to take advantage of. It's like an opportunity where there's a lot of potential, and I think maybe you think that you're not qualified. Maybe you're not, but again, maybe you're like the only person who applies for it, and your boss is like, sure, or maybe your boss is willing to train you or help you or whatever. I don't know. That's got to be for someone out there, so I would do it. With the Three of Wands, you show up here with the Justice card, puts you in a position of power and strength to show up as yourself, so that looks nice. With the King of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness, so I definitely feel that it is time for you to be resourceful or to kind of like dig into your resources at this time. I think this is true for everyone. I always make the joke that even if you have $1 billion in the bank account, I wouldn't be spending your money like crazy right now. I think that also there are a lot of opportunities, and this is what people don't realize. Like, again, I encourage people to learn about like investing or saving or whatever you can right now, because I just see that, over the next 10 years, I think really between like now and 2027, there's going to be a lot of chaos. But, for people who are smart, who learn, who take advantage of these opportunities that could come up, you could become rich or very successful. So, learn about it is what I'm going to say. And for the people who do that, you're welcome, is what I'm going to say, Libra. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this root girl. It says the disowned self. So for some of you, I feel like you've been through a dark night of the soul, and maybe there are some things that you are kind of like moving past or healing. I also feel there are some things that maybe you feel like you don't like about yourself. And, of course, I would don't be kind to yourself at this time. I think another thing that I always talk about with the astrology that we have going on is I think we need to be super kind to ourselves, because it is a triggering time. I don't even like the word triggered, but I use it all the time because, it is a time where there are certain reflections that we could see of ourselves that kind of trigger something inside of us that we don't like, or maybe even regrets or sadness from the past, right? And we kind of see that here with the Hermit, the Ten of Swords, and the World. But I actually feel that you could accomplish a lot with this World. And the Hermit is kind of like saying, okay, you've been through this dark night of the soul, or you've been through some difficulties and challenges, and now it's time for you to come out the other side. Now it's time for you to shine your inner light. The Ten of Swords is something that's dead, done, over with. He's actually making a symbol with his hands right here that represents a blessing. So I feel like once you realize that something from the past is dead, done, over with, does not have to be love, could be your old self, and you could be changing, could be just some beliefs that you've had as well. It's like once you let those things go, I feel like you're going to realize that there's like a lot that you can accomplish. I also get that some of you could just be moving. Again, I think something... sometimes the Ten of Swords doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. It can just say that you're ending one thing, going to another. Tens just represent the end in tarot. So, some of you could just simply be moving to a new location here. With the Hermit, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, you are. It's like a very independent time for you. I feel like you're very focused on like improving your resources. You've been getting this for years. Now that I think about it, right? You always get the Queen of Pentacles with me, I'm pretty sure, and the Seven of Pentacles, which you don't have it here, but usually you get it with me, right? But you have the Nine of Pentacles. It seems to me like you're very focused on kind of like being independent, making your own money, doing whatever you have to do. Here you go. With the Ten of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles. I'm telling you right now, this is a new connection. I know you have the Ten of Swords here, and I explained to you how I'd read that. But again, I read intuitively, and I was getting something different about that Ten of Swords. I feel there's a new person, and it could be an Earth sign for sure. Earth and fire really stand out to me, so take it how it resonates. But I feel like there could be a new person, someone who's serious. I love the King and Queen of Pentacles. Doesn't even matter what gender you're attracted to. To me, they are basically like the two who really put in the work to build something permanent. So looks like there could be a good connection coming in for you. And with the World, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like carrying a heavy burden, carrying some heavy weights. So I feel like you are ready to put down like the burdens of the world. And I encourage people to be careful of the burdens of the world. People always come at me because they're like, how dare you not worry about every little thing that's going on in the world? I'm like, well, first off, most of those people look nuts, number one, right? But number two, it's like, unless you can directly control it, help it, or fix it, or unless you're going to help it, control it, or fix it, then there's no point worrying about whatever the problem is. So it's like, I think that there's going to be a lot of craziness. There's going to be a lot of distractions between now and like 2033 at least. And it's like, I think that we all need to make the choice right now. Like, am I going to worry about every little thing that is happening around me? Or am I going to worry about myself and make myself the best version of myself? And then when we do that, then it gives permission for other people to do that. That's the only way we're going to change the world. We're not going to change it worrying about like whatever reason there is to worry about freaking everything, right? Like, let's save the pterodactyls or whatever is going on in the world, right? And obviously, like I always say, if you care about something, then go do something about it. Just sitting there talking about it on Twitter, that does nothing, right? So don't be one of those people is what I would say. And again, I always like to remind people, if there's anybody that's going to save the pterodactyls right now, it's you, right? But you have to go do it. You can't just, again, argue with someone on Twitter about why pterodactyls are important and why we need more pterodactyls in the world, which I agree with you 100%. But, go do something about it. Go start Jurassic Park. That's my dream, right? Next, you have this retreat card. This is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle. Full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but they are launching 3 new decks that are awesome, and I have a link to those down below, so definitely check those out. But I feel like for a lot of you, you've been in a period of being withdrawn. Again, we have the Hermit here, and it's almost as if now this reading is saying it's encouraging you to get out into the world, which we actually saw with the Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and going to the world. Three of Pentacles is a card of showing your work. Three of Wands, obviously, is a card of expansion into the world. So it looks to me like it's time for you to actually leave a period of retreat where maybe you have been kind of like healing yourself or something along those lines, and, put something out into the world. You have the Knight of Cups, which definitely could be love, but so again, let's just get that out of the way. I feel like there could be a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. Really, overall, I feel like this reading is much bigger picture than love. I feel like the Knight of Cups can represent some sort of goal, wish, or dream. He's normally looking into that cup, dreaming of something that he wants to create, something he wants to do, be, or have, right? As well, could be anything. But he's standing in the desert. This is where everybody is at right now. I think we all feel like we're standing in the desert, but there's actually water in this desert. He could easily plant seeds in front of that water and they would grow, even though he's in the desert. Again, I think that at least until 2027, I think people will want to start projects, but maybe they'll say, oh, I don't have the money. Or maybe people will say, well, want to start a relationship, for example, whatever it is that you want to do. And it might look like you don't have the resources. Your job is to find a way to get started, no matter what. So, I feel like it is time for you to put in the work. And people always ask me, like, what could I do? I'm like, well, number one, there's like a million resources. You could start a YouTube channel, right? If you want to start a business, start talking about it on YouTube, right? You don't have to actually start the business. Just start talking about the business. Or you don't, and again, people always are like, oh, I don't want to share my trade secrets. I'm like, you don't have to share anything. Like, if you want to start a restaurant, just start talking about restaurants, right? Because again, your passion will shine through and then you'll make money with YouTube and then you can fund your business, or who the hell knows what will happen, right? So again, I keep telling people, it's like, you have the moon, which says you have a goal. This is part of the Fool's journey, and there are these mountains in the background here. The Fool's goal is to get to those mountains because mountains represent achievements in the tarot. So it's like, to me, this reading is saying that there's something you want to achieve. How you're going to get there isn't exactly clear, the moon. But if you start taking the steps, you are going to get there. You will be successful. So get moving. You have the Six of Pentacles, planting seeds. Six of Pentacles is probably like the easiest solution to anything right now, or to getting started. With the Six of Pentacles, we just have to plant seeds, meaning we just have to try a couple of things towards a direction. Like, again, maybe you want to start a business. You start talking about it on YouTube. Maybe you start bragging about it on Twitter. Maybe you start a blog about it. But maybe what happens is just the blog takes off. The Six of Pentacles says try a couple things, YouTube, Twitter, and blog. And then maybe if the blog takes off, double down on the blog. When something works with the Six of Pentacles, we double down on it, right? Same thing with like everything else in your life, like love. Maybe you've had bad luck on Tinder. And so maybe you go out with friends and you meet a person. So Six of Pentacles says, do what works. Keep doing the friends. Don't do Twitter or Tinder. I don't know. I'm at too many T words today. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. Yes, definitely your emotions overflowing. A lot of love coming in for you. Could be love. With the Moon, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, we have to try things we've never tried before as well. Every single person, I kid you not, gets the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is my card of third place solutions. I talk about this a lot. I'm super passionate about third place solutions because I think that Pluto and Aquarius is all about third place solutions. And also, we have Neptune going into Aries in 2026. I have like a lot of crazy ass theories about that, but what we don't want to get into, I believe, is we don't want to get into a situation where it's like some old guy is like, I have all the solutions to all the problems that I have created, and you have to follow me to have these problems solved. Klaus Schwab, right? So if you know, you know. Leave a comment down below. But what I would say here is we don't want to fall into that situation. So again, all the solutions that are good solutions are going to be third place solutions. Could be anything. It basically is just something you've never tried before. So anything you're trying to accomplish, that's what I would do there. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Tower. Yep. We're going to see a lot of Tower moments, global Tower moments, things like that. I do feel like some of you have had a Tower moment. But what I would say is whenever I have a reading with these two right here, Judgment and the Tower, to me, that is like a major wake-up call, a major aha moment, those two cards together. So I feel for a lot of you, there could just be like a light bulb moment that you have. And the Six of Pentacles says, start investing in that direction, meaning start putting energy towards some sort of aha moment that you're having. Let's see. You have this box card. It says you will receive a gift. Again, I feel like the universe wants to reward you right now. I feel like this is that Ace of Pentacles opportunity that I was talking about just a minute ago. It's like the universe is bringing you like a raise, a promotion, or, it doesn't even have to be in work. It could be something else, but, I would grab onto it, whatever it is. You have this harp. It says great happiness. I kind of feel with that Three of Pentacles, again, we were talking about the polka dots. I think you need to do more things that bring you happiness. I feel like we all do. The energy is too stiff. The energy is too, it's like not fun enough. So I feel like we need to have more fun. I think, I feel like the universe is trying to get people to break out of this like serious energy. You have this ink pot. It says problem to be resolved. I'm actually a big fan of problems right now because Mercury retrograde, number one. Number two, these aren't like bad problems. These are like, you want to make more money in your business. That is kind of a problem that needs to be solved. Again, I think the word problem gets a bad rap, right? It's like you think about a puzzle is a problem, right? So I feel for some of you, it's more like there are some puzzles that are going on in your life. And I also feel like reframing your issues in your life could be a good idea, but I would like work towards these things. It's like maybe you only make $1,000 a month in your business. How could you make $10,000 a month? How can you do that, right? I encourage people like crazy right now to ask the hard questions, impossible questions as well. We still have Neptune and Pisces, again, until 2026. I encourage people to take their goals, wishes, dreams, multiply them by 1 billion, because it's like if there was ever a time where you could literally do that very quickly, go from 1,000 a month to 10,000 a month, or who the hell knows, 10,000 to 100,000, whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be money. But if there was ever a time, it would be right now. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if there was ever a time, it would be right now. So all you have to do is ask the question, and the universe will answer. You have this July card, and you also have this vase card. Whenever I get these monthly cards, I always clarify it. And it's a secret admirer. I kind of feel like you could be attracting someone who is born in the month of July. I'm kind of leaning towards Leo, of course, but so it could be an early-ish Leo that is coming in for you. here as far as love is concerned. I don't think it's saying you could meet them by July. Didn't I say that actually earlier? I was like saying between now and July or something like that. I said that, right? Am I making that up? I don't know. Mercury's retrograde in my third house, people, so it's like I can't remember anything right now. But there you go. You have this claw card. It says, be careful. Do not take risks. I would say I kind of like disagree with this, but I also agree with it. I wouldn't take uncalculated risk. Like, I think it is a terrible time to just take advice from any old person, right? I keep talking about, I said this at the beginning of the year, and what do you know? There was like a bunch of crypto scams that Sam Bankman-Fried, he got arrested, all the banks collapsing. I mean, like, we are in a time of fraudulent activity. Like, I'm just telling you right now. So I would be, and look at all the people that like, copy my channel, right? All the scammers and stuff. So I keep telling people, like, especially in finance, but, pretty much anything else, don't just take someone's word for it. Do your research. That's what a risk is. We need to be, it is a time where we need to really make sure that we do our research, right? Especially on anything financial. I keep telling people, be careful, get rich quick schemes as well. Uranus and Taurus wants us to get rich slow, and that doesn't sound sexy, right? The reason why get rich quick is successful is because that's what people want. They want to get rich quick, right? But again, if I think what people don't realize with Uranus and Taurus, if you want to make a bunch of money, you totally can, but you just have to do it based off your values. So you have to make sure that you're doing something that is valuable to you. It's like everybody's like all these get rich quick schemes. I'm sure you've seen them all on YouTube, like make $1 billion with Amazon and stuff like that. It's like, does that align with your values? Do you value that? Probably not. If you did truly value it, you probably would make $1 billion, by the way. But it's like, how can you create something, if you want to start a business, that has to do with your values? But this could be other risks as well. It's like in love. It's like, how can you make sure that the people that you're getting involved with, that you value or that you share similar values? As long as you do that, you don't have to be exactly the same, right? But you both have to be maybe pointed in the same direction. It's like, how can you make sure that happens? You have to ask questions. That's how. So, damn, Libra. This is an intense reading. I love it. But thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with my craziness, and definitely enjoy your week.